Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Get into the charts. All right, so we are going to take an unbiased view at everything we got going on the board today. All right, and we're going to see which way we're leaning here. I'm going to tell you my bias is bearish, but I am going to be taking a look at both. Well, so I'm going to show you guys in this video, right? My bias is actually extremely bullish. But short term, I'm definitely bearish, and I definitely have reasons to be short term bearish in this market. All right, so the first thing I'm going to point out is that you have now gapped up straight into the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement right here on SPY. QQQ, you have almost retraced the entire move as of today. You've came, what is this? Yeah, you came $2 off of breaking your high, retracing the entire move that took, what is it, 90 trading sessions to pan out here. All right, so yeah, 70 trading sessions it took to go from here all the way down to here. And then it took, I want to say 13, took 13 trading sessions to retrace pretty much that entire move without any pullback. I think it's very clear, at least to me, who is in control here. You've broken out aggressively to the upside, and I think any pullback is very likely going to be eaten up. All right, now on SPY, QQQ, the other day, we broke the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement. That told me the fact that we were even breaking it intraday says that this pullback is probably going to get eaten up, and then we're probably going to have 100% retracement. Well, now SPY is right there doing the same thing. So I do have to assume the same thing is probably going to be the outcome. We're probably going to see 100% retracement from this move from here to here, which means we're going to be pushing up to the high of 459.44. Now, I also want to point out that we had a bear market last year. We did fall over here on QQQ. I want to say it was 37%. That is pretty darn, yeah, 37.5%. That is pretty darn significant to the downside. Now, why was that happening? Inflation was spiking. Rates were going up to, previous all-time highs just to deal with the inflation spiking. And for a while, the inflation was not coming down or was just staying there. And now we have seen that inflation aggressively come back up. I also want to remind everyone, supply chain issues. We had supply chain issues, I believe, going on somewhere. I don't remember where. Somewhere going on here. And then you also had war. Those things are not happening anymore. All right, the war might, we still might have war going on, but I think the market is very clearly adapted. That is not even, hasn't been talked about in, at least a little while. So we know the market's probably not even thinking about that. Rates. All right, guys, rates. Let's just, let's see what's going on here. All right, the 10-year is going to be the big one. But the 2-year today is absolutely declining. All right, now I should have mentioned what caused this 2% gap up over here on, 2% move to the upside over here on SPY and QQQ. All right, it was a CPI beat. Now it was of only 0.1%. That's why I'm bringing up what I am bringing up right now. All right, why did we decline? All right. Why did we decline for a whole year? All right. Why did we literally take almost 300 days to go from here, the peak, to the bottom? Because of fear of that inflation being high, rates being high, war, which, I don't think that's really, I don't think the market is going off of that right now. Maybe something comes out. I don't know. I've been hearing about the government shutdown. The Moody's, it's not a downgrade, but it's an outlook downgrade. So, potentially when the next time comes around, then they downgrade. All right. But this was just an outlook for that time. So it wasn't like the Fitch downgrade. They didn't do anything. They just, the outlook, I believe, was downgraded. So there's that. We could potentially have a government shutdown this week. I'm not pointing out anything to support a bear case. I'm just saying that, that these are the things that are being discussed now. War, I don't think, is one of them. And inflation being high, and guys, inflation is almost back down to 2%. All right, so we're almost back down to literally their yearly objective target, which is just their target, so they can keep running the Ponzi scheme, which is great. All right, Ponzi scheme is going to make us rich. All right, you learn to ride the waves like, we cover here on this channel, and, in the end, you should be rich. All right, just give it, 5 to 10 years. You got to stick at your craft. This is my craft. I'm guessing this is probably, at least a hobby of yours if you're watching these videos, if not your craft. Well, I mean, obviously for, work, you also have that craft, but, probably take a great deal of interest into trading or investing in the stock market if you have found your way onto this channel. Now, if you are new to this channel, I welcome you. I also appreciate everyone who's came along here and joined our community. We are almost at 4,000 subscribers. That does mean our community is almost at 4,000 individuals. That is pretty darn stinking cool, and I just want to thank you guys, and I want to say I appreciate you. All right. Now, let's go over some other things. All right. So we're at the top of the golden pocket. We have this aggressive breakout. It's bullish, but I do want to point out from over here, we do have decreasing volume, and I would expect on a 2% up day, it's up like 2.1% at a high, I believe. I would expect we probably would have some pretty crazy volume. We don't. It's actually 2:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. And if we get the typical 10 to 15 mil volume spike, we're not going to have anything crazy. Up here on the downside, during these bear days, you were getting 121 mil volume. This is a big down or upside day here. You're not getting a lot. You're not getting anywhere close to 100 million volume. So I just want to make that clear. Your RSI is approaching overbought. We're going to take a look at some individual tickers as well. Now, let me also show you why I told you guys in the beginning of the video that I'm actually extremely bullish. All right, now I am taking an unbiased, objective viewpoint at the market. So I just want everyone to be on the same page as me when I'm going over my TA, because this is really, what we're going to be coming from right here on a macro time frame, on the monthly time frame. You literally have this. Now, I know you can't see it very well here, but on the weekly time frame, you can see this was a massive inverse head and shoulders, with this being the head, and then these two were your shoulders. Maybe it was a complex inverse head and shoulders right there. You had two shoulders right there. You had two shoulders right here. Guess what? Here was your neckline. You have just back tested the neckline and explosively. All right, like this got to be a historical rally we're seeing. Explosively, without any pullback, for a very large, a long time, guys. All right, QQQ. 12 out of 13 trading sessions have been gap ups. That's quite insane. Am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Everyone besides this one was a gap up. That's insane. They're clearly trying to squeeze out shorts right now, and maybe you do take this out. But let's just review, guys. You don't have these things. So I remember, okay, or if anybody's not brand new to the channel, you should, remember not too long ago when everyone was like becoming permanent bearish, saying 330 was happening over here on QQQ. All right, SPY's going sub 400, or at least tapping 400. And I was open to it, but I also knew that's where a major bottom would be put in, because that was your golden pocket here on the weekly time frame, going from the last major low up to the high, which is all the way up here. All right, and as you see right here, you literally got into the golden pocket, 0.618 Fibonacci, and guess what? You explosively shot upwards. This monthly chart looks kind of insane, okay? The weekly and monthly are very good looking. I'm just going to point that out. It looks like, take out the side, you're going straight to all-time highs. And I'm just going to point out, let's go. I know I don't even do Elliott Wave really all that much, all right? I really don't. But I'm just going to bring it back. I've been bringing this up a lot, all right? If you just saw your move to the downside, you haven't had a pullback here. There's no beat, even if this is just going to be a retracement, which I think it's very clear it's not going to be a retracement. On QQ, you've already retraced, 90% of that move. More than 90%. You have $2 until you get up to the actual high, the July peak. That's crazy. But we haven't seen this B phase yet. All right. I don't know where that's going to go. But after that, it could turn into, I don't know. It could make a lower high here. I think that's a flat. That's accepted. But guess what? Regardless, you're going to get the second bounce. It's probably going to be explosive. And if I had to take a shot at it, you're going to see something like this. Or you breach that. And once you breach, like it's wraps, guys. You really think you're just going to fade from there? No, you're probably doing something like this. You're going to go probably a decent amount past the all-time high. If you hit all-time highs, just because a lot of people are probably going to say double top. And then I'm going to tell you this. Well, for a double top to actually play out, you got to come down here and break the neckline. And your neckline from that point is going to be down like almost 30%. You really think you're going to crash 30% and then also, you know, get the measured move on that? Like something like this? Do you really think? And no, it's probably not going to happen. You're probably not going to revisit COVID lows. You pumped a lot of money into the system. I don't think that's, you know, logical. I don't think that's going to happen again. All right. I really don't. I think if we're going to really crash, you're going to undercut these lows and then probably going to come right. Let's just look at it this way. All right. On the monthly time frame. Well, this now, if we break highs here, this is now, we're going to have a new Fibonacci retracement to take a look at. Like, let's just pretend this last year didn't even happen. And like this is where you would very much so definitely be finding buyers. It would be somewhere in this range. Or you literally come up here and you hold the previous peak. All right, like QQQ I know fell a bunch more, but let's just take a look. All right, QQQ looks like it's about to explode to all-time highs. Once that happens, guys, you have this new major low here. It's a new low on the monthly time frame. We'll call it a major low on all of these other time frames. All right, I would say this was the last major low that got put in on the monthly time frame. But you clearly have like this flag-like manner over here on the weekly time frame. And you're exploding upwards, and it looks like it's about to get crazy. And we'll point out, so far, you got decreasing volume on these two, both of these up weeks, like this big 6%, 6.5 week decreasing volume compared to the bear week, both of the bear weeks before that. All right, so that's something to take note of. But, you know, guys, with all factors considered, I would say be bullish on the freaking dip. All right, you have no reason to be bearish on that dip. This thing has been insane. Now, let's look at why short-term bearish makes perfect sense. All right, I'm also, you know, like I said, I do have a bearish bias in the short term. But, you know, I'm very bullish on the pullback. All right, I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. 425 to 430, that is what, you know, minimum pullback. That is really what I'm looking for. Why? Well, let's first of all put this out there. You have a gap. Now, this massive gap right here. Well, you're also going to have this gap open right here at 430.92. Now, ideally, you come down here and fill this 423.50 gap. But then you also have a minor gap left open at 418.53 because you did not fill it on this day right here. Missed it by 12 cents. So, ideally, we come down and we fill it, like all of them. And then look at this. This aligns with the golden pocket. So, if you're really going to scare the crap out of everyone, then yeah, maybe it's something like this. You had an aggressive move to the upside. You could see something like this. But I'm also going to say, I think this is much more likely. And you're going to come down either 430.92, bounce off the 50% retracement, or you do something, maybe it's over here. Maybe it happens very quick because, sorry about that. Just because, sorry, I got a text on my watch. Look, I'm on my break, so I wanted to just make sure. Look at that, SPY shooting back up. So maybe we haven't seen nothing yet. Ideally, I would like to see a spinning top today, by the way, in the form of a shooting star. You do have increasing volume here, but it's still low volume compared to, you know, what we've. Why is this low volume on this big day? You're just not gonna have any crazy day. I'm just saying. But yeah, all right, guys. So I'm just saying we're either probably gonna come here and retest. I mean, obviously we have a big spot right here, over here at 438. This is where you were stalling out here, 437, 438 right here. Then you also started stalling out right here, so that's gonna be a big spot. But I think it's much more likely that we come down and at least have like a tap of 430 again. That's a big psych level. Obviously up here around 440, that's gonna be your big psych level too. But in terms of structure, we just saw a very move up without any structure. All right, $41 move up, no structure. You had max, you had $5 pullback, just about. Okay, that was $40. Well, let's just look at this. Things do not go straight down. They really do not. Like this was your straight down move without any pullback at all. And you had your pullback, and it gave back $8 to $9 of that move. All right. That was, you know, we just had $40, like pretty much no pullback here. Over here, you had that. And guess what? Both of these retraced up here, either to this one, the 50% retracement, and this one, the golden pocket. So that's what I'm really looking for, all right, guys? We're looking for that retracement. It doesn't have to be in the golden pocket or anything. But you're right now at the top of this golden pocket from here to here, that move, all right, you're right there at the 0.786. This is an ideal spot, and I'm actually also going to point out DIA is also right there, all right, from the whole decline right here. Like, this is a multi-month decline, guys, just taken out in 2 weeks. That's insane. Again, 12 bars, guys. That is 2 trading weeks and then 2 days. That's insane. And you have almost retraced the entire move. Almost 80% on DIA, 80% over here on SPY. You're right there at the 0.786. QQQ, 90% freaking 95% retracement inside of those, 12 to 13 bars here. On QQQ, got the head start. Tipped us off. All right. Yeah, I'm just saying, guys. All right. Look for the pullback. It's extremely likely you don't get these moves just straight up. Now, I will acknowledge this move over here. People are going to say, oh, you could have that move. You can do it. All right, but let's break down the actual move. 63, first of all, 20%, $63 move. We've already covered 2/3 of this move. Keep that in mind. All right. Every time you have a big thrust up, you get a decent pullback. We didn't get nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then in the end, you did end up getting a massive pullback. All right. But it, it's terms of that, but like, look at all of these moves up, they get the pullbacks. This was a move right here, $25 move, then you gave back $8 of the dollars. Right here, $14 move up, you gave back 10 to 11 of the dollars. Right over here is where you went, $16 move, you gave back 12 of the dollars. Okay, so I'm just pointing out, guys, you're going to get these retracements. $40, that's very unreasonable, all right? Even when it just looks like a straight moonshot, it actually wasn't a straight moonshot, all right? You had a $23 move, and then you pulled back $9, all right? Just look at this. Almost 9, but yeah, $9, all right? And then it looks like a straight moonshot, but it's not. It's $24 move to the upside, and then you pulled back. I think that's another $8, $7 right there, all right? We only got a 5, and keep in mind, we just did almost double what we're going over right here, and you got the $8 thing. So I think we got at least, like, I'm gonna say probably a $15 pullback on the horizon. That is what I'm really looking for, and ideally it does start right up here with like a spinning top from today, and then you get continuation down tomorrow. That is ideally what I'd like to see. But yeah, I'm just saying this move to the upside, I do think it's just getting started. I'm definitely gonna. That's why I spent the first portion of the video just going over the bull case, all right? Because I am extremely bullish. I was extremely bullish and sounded like a perma bull at the bottom, but there's a reason bears are not out and about right now. And I'm also going to show this right here, right? So, right here, I don't have an account in here. Maybe I will make an account and do that. All right, but yeah, 0.88 is what it's still at. Now that's for yesterday. I imagine after this move today, that's probably not going to be the case. All right, but that was the case yesterday, and that's why today on this ever so slight beat, all right, we had this move up and then shorts covered, and let's just walk through it. All right, why did we go over what was behind the move down, the decline last year in 2022? What was behind that? What we went over, all right? Elevated inflation. It was scary. People thought, okay, this is not going to go away for like 5 years. All right, war, rates being at, near all-time highs here. Well, maybe not all-time highs, not Volcker times, but, very high. Highest since, like, beyond the 2000s, I don't know. We're not going to look at that. Oh, geez. All right, turn that off. There we go. But yeah, all right, guys. So I'm just pointing out, all right, that's not the case anymore. That you shouldn't be ultra bearish. Bear market can return, but things are looking pretty bullish right now. And anytime that bull case gets like proven, and even if it's the slightest bit like today, all right, a beat on CPI by 0.1%, a beat of 0.1%, and you had a 2% gap up. That's insane. That is literally because it's a combo of what we're showing right here. You had an elevated, we pointed this out. We said it was really weird that we're still up here. Normally you go like this, and then at the bottom you'll have an elevated put to call ratio. No, that wasn't at all the case. It skyrocketed once we started going up, and then boom, you exploded. All right, so like I'm just pointing out, what we're seeing here is just the combo of sideline money finally coming back into the market. Every time you see this, a little amount of these people on the sideline, they're gonna come in and FOMO into the market. They're like, oh, this is what I was waiting for. There's a guy at work, all right? There's a guy, and he literally was waiting on what Jerome Powell said and came out and pretty much like calmed everyone down. Maybe now Jerome Powell is gonna walk everyone back. I have absolutely no idea, but like, you know, what he said really wasn't all that bearish to me. Like macro bullish. I think after pullback gets eaten up. Bullish on the pullback. All right. But, you know, proceed with caution. If you want to get long, I would say intraday longs, but no swing longs. I think it's extremely unwise to do that. You've had decreasing volume this whole time on these volume spikes. Look at that. That one to that one to that one. That was your bottom. That was your big thrust up here with your gap ups. Right over here. This was on your big day. You had the green volume spike right there. And guess what? What the heck is this thing on the biggest day we've had so far? What is that? All right. So I'm just pointing that out. All right. Lack of liquidity is shown by the volume drying up as we, you know, move higher. Less people are willing to buy. But, you know, I'm just explaining why we did have this move up. Look, you're back up at 449. Look at this. This is crazy. All right. The market just wants to go limit up right now. And look, you literally consolidated in a bull flag like manner here. The market wants to be bid up, I swear. It does. It doesn't want to give people an opportunity to get in, but I think it's just pushing it to an extreme. Now, I do want to point this out right here. Fear and Greed Index is at 48. What just happened, all of this move up, has brought it from extreme fear, 17 at a low. I think it was over here. And over here, I think you bottomed at like 22. Maybe it was 21. But from here to here, brought it from like low 20s all the way up. So $40 move up to 50. Guys, this is going to be back at extreme greed. I was trying to tell everyone, when you're down here, this is not where you get bearish. 22, I told you guys. Maybe I said 21, I don't know. But yeah, you bottomed over here at 22, and intraday somewhere over here, you had 17 on here, and then you bottomed there. So I'm just going to point out, this is what we were saying, you know, all throughout, like for a while now. Major bottom is being put in. All right, it was either that this was a corrected move here and you're going to have, you know, just an ABC move like that. And then you're going to resume impulsive, you know, moves to the upside here. Or you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then like either way, downside limited. This was going to be your fifth wave. And it bottomed right in the golden pocket. And then you're going to resume and at least have like a corrective sequence. So this was what I was looking for. I was looking for something probably like this. Literally, this is what I was looking for. It never happened. All right. But I do think you're going to be pulling back. Let's just go over some confluence down here on why I think you're going to pull back. Probably all the way back down here. All right. Not only would it align with the golden pocket, which I do got to be wrapping this video up pretty soon. All right. Not only does it align with the beginning of the golden pocket, but it would be a back test. All right. So if you were to do a pretty, you know, bad move down here, we do have PPI tomorrow. And then, you know, guys, I don't know what catalyst. I just pay attention to the charts. And right now, I'm just saying I wouldn't be getting long up here on a swing position. I don't think that's a good idea. I understand you just gapped up 2%. I understand. Like I just had, you know, this is a $10 move in one freaking day. Go against me. That's insane. All right. But I'm just going to tell you right now. All right. This is an exaggerated move off of low volume. And then let's take a look at some individual tickers after we do this. But we're going to literally put that arrow right there. Tap on the 200 MA. 20 MA is going to align with this gap fill right here. That also aligns with a 50% retracement right there. This gap fill over all the way down here at 423.50. That aligns with your golden pocket, 0.618. Right here with your trend line break right there out of your parallel channel / bull flag, whatever you want to call this big monster of a thing, which today you actually did break through another trend line. So I do want to point that one out. Or you could have had this one on. All right. So like you kind of broke above it, break and retest right there. So like either way, guys, everything's looking bullish. I really got to say it. All right. But yeah, 200 MA. Break and retest right there. Break and retest from the zone right here. You never came back and tested it. All right, so that's 2 areas of confluence. 200 MA, that's 3 areas of confluence. Golden pocket, 4 areas. Gap fill, 5 areas of confluence. All right, points of confluence, whatever you want to refer to it as. It's down there. All right, then 20 MA would also be tested right here. You never came back to test your 20 MA. Could show you that right here as well. Let's just take off a fat 0. And boom, bop, bing, bop, pow. It's right here. So if you came down here, you're going to undercut. You're going to, you're going to test it. Right here, you tested it. You couldn't hold it. Right here, you tested it. You couldn't hold it. Right here, you tested it to the downside. I'm looking for it to test. All right. You just kind of busted through it. I'm looking for these. All right. I think they're just exaggerating it and getting everyone on the long side. And then they're going to do a move down here. And I think then, a lot of people are probably going to call for a crash again. But I'm going to say, hey, we're really bullish on that dip. All right, Mr. VIX. Why is Mr. VIX down only 5% on this big up day? I don't know. Why is Bitcoin down on this big up day? Why is this the case? Why is Bitcoin not participating? I think, all right, they're gonna have a pullback. I'm just putting it out there. Now, again, I do have that bearish, short-term bearish buys. I definitely do. All right, but I would get bullish on that pullback. And like in reality, you already 100% retraced this move. You're bound to get a pullback. I don't know what you want me to tell you. We went over some, previous data over here. $15 move. Oh, you retraced $10 freaking dollars. Over here, $18 move. Oh, you retraced $8. Right here, you retraced, all right, most of that move. $16 there. We're looking for that at least $10 to $15 retracement here over here on SPY, and that would be looking something like maybe we come on and only visit 430. I have absolutely no idea, but you're looking for something like that. And I think because like what we just went over here, this is not off of massive $40 moves with only a $5 pullback. No, this is like, $15 to $20 moves, and you still get these pullbacks. $30. All right. You just retraced, 13. All right. $27. You retraced $10 right there. And then you went up. And then again, you had another retracement. $35 move. Look at that. Another $12 retracement from the high there. So like we're just waiting on at least something like that before some continuation to the upside. That's what I want to make very clear. All right. With that being said, guys, let's take a brief little look at all of these individual tickers right here. And we're going to go out of this. Tesla looks mighty bullish. We actually pointed this out in yesterday's video with this inverse head and shoulders formation. Apple is approaching resistance up here, but it is pretty close. So maybe we do go a little higher here. I have absolutely no idea. But, I'm definitely going to say upside is limited. Look, this whole thing, they're getting ready for a rug pull, all right? But I also don't want to sound like a perma bear, so don't let me come off that way. Because I even, I think I'm kind of sounding like a perma bear. But like in reality, these are just the facts. What I can look at, like I may want to take a contrarian viewpoint. That's just like naturally what I want to do. But like, because, people can come on here and say, oh, go bull all you want. All right. But then you're going to see that pullback. All right. Like it's so bound to happen. Look at this declining volume. It's everywhere, guys. All right. Goog, declining volume on this whole entire move. Meta. All right, it's lackluster. You had a little pickup right here, but it's nothing like this bearish volume. Microsoft, that's not looking too bad, all right? What I'll point out is NVIDIA. You're now up here, and you have had terrible volume on this big bear day right here, except you traded flat, but that's where bears stepped in over here for this double top, the potential right there. Guess what? Low volume on the run up into it, and then volume spike right there on the bear day. So, like, volume spikes are on, these bearish positions being taken. I just want to point that one out right here. Your volume spike right here. It's big day. All right. You're now at all-time highs again. Are you going to break it? I don't think you're going to break it. I'm going to be completely honest, but maybe you're setting up a I don't know. I don't actually know. That's not an inverse head and shoulders, right? You got AMD. You have an argument there, but you're also right at resistance. Like a bunch of these tickers look like they're destined to pull back. MU did break out to the upside today. TSM, like RSI all the way up at 70 already. As these things just look like they're going to be getting pullbacks. BA, RSI is all the way up at 70. Yeah, you probably do get that continuation, something like that. All right, but you've already had a very big move here. BABA did not participate in this rally much, right? I picked up throughout the day, right? $2 up. Cat, I was actually pointing this out in yesterday's video. Cat looked like BABA, or not BABA, BA, except down here. When we had this going on. All right, and then you broke to the upside. I think that's literally what I pointed out in yesterday's video. And look at that. Today you gapped up, and yeah, it's whatever. The whole market gapped up. SPY's up like $9. So, who cares what these individual tickers did? Everything's going to explode. Carvana, I think we also pointed this out. Just literally breaking, retesting your channel right there. Disney, think they're getting into sports betting. That's probably going to cause a spike. Maybe that brings some, you know, movement into all of this consolidation that just broke out recently. D-King back up to a new 52-week high. Like, this is insane, guys. Everything looks bullish. All right. Nike. Everything we were trading before, guys, if we just held, there we go. Also, I'm going to tell you, I told you guys yesterday, 60 to 90 days out. That is what I'm going to be doing for all swing positions moving forward. It's going to allow you to take theta out of the equation. And you just won't have stress. If you know you're at least near the, you know, near a major move, there you go. All right, guys, with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. But you have a lovely rest of your day, and peace.